Okay, but Rita, talk to me first. Where do we go? Well, that has been a tough afternoon's worth of jumping. We said to you earlier on today that life in Valkenswaard on this giant grass ring can sometimes be a little tricky. And let me tell you, 2 out of the 40 riders, the best riders the entire weekend, those in form with fantastic horses, only 2 have managed to complete this course without having a fence down in the allocated time. Those 2 riders are as follows. Harry Smulders, already an LGCT Grand Prix champion this season and a former LGCT season champion, the first of the men to go through, followed only by Nicola Philipparts and Katanga. We were expecting more riders to join that jump-off list with so many high-quality riders towards the back end, in particular Marlon Bayer-Jonsson, Gilles Thomas, Ben Mayer, etc. Yet none of them were able to keep the fences up. Let's hear the thoughts then of the second man into the jump-off. This is Nicola Philipparts.
Nicola, again, as the same with Harry, the crowd just went completely wild when you landed clear over that Katanga. She was just phenomenal today.
Yeah, she jumped great. She hasn't showed in 5 weeks, so I think was very good. She had a bit of a break. She was a little feisty, but she jumped great and she gave everything today.
Do you feel that she goes better when she's fresh?
Well, I think she's getting a little bit older, so I try to find the best balance for her. Sometimes she gets a little feisty if she doesn't do a few shows, but she felt great today. It's a difficult track. I'm not sure there's going to be a lot of clears, but she jumped great, and hopefully we can have a good jump off.
Did you manage to watch a few before you went in, and what did you think of the rounds before you went in?
Yeah, like I say, I think it's it's a difficult track today. Not many clears yet, but for my horse it was good. I could add a few times a stride left and right, which for her helps a lot to jump. But she jumped great, and hopefully we have a great jump off.
You've got to go into the jump off, like you said. We don't know how many will be joining you in that jump off, but just how good is she when it comes to that?
I think naturally she's very quick. I just need to keep the control a little bit. She likes to do everything on a high level, and I just try to keep her quiet and try to do my turns good.
Good luck.
All right, thank you very much. Busy catching up with our in-studio guest. That's Nicola Philipparts having some words to us about that performance. Only 2 riders in the jump-off. We decided to bring Carlos Ancarero into the studio with us to give us some thoughts, to give us some interaction as to what's going to happen today during the jump-off. Carlos, let's start with that. That was That was tough. That was difficult. We expected to be, but that felt like a real challenge today to these riders.
Yeah, it was a real challenge out there. I think most of us, when we walked it, we could already tell. Sometimes you can't tell until you start jumping out there, but I think it walked straight away very tough. Big fences, delicate fences.
So off the bat already, there was the understanding that today was going to be a unique day.
Yeah, exactly. I think all of us, when we walked it, we had a feeling. You wouldn't expect 2 clears, obviously, with the level of riders and horses that we have at these competitions, but it walked a very tough class.
Talk to me about what made it so challenging. I mean, we can reflect on your round, maybe on Eduardo's as well. I'm sure you were keeping an eye on him. What were the certain areas that looked really, really difficult today? Because it felt like there were errors all over the show.
Yeah, I mean, straight off the bat, number 3, that bicycle is always very delicate on a rollback. The horses don't really see the plank on top so well. There's a big space between that bar and then the rest of the jump, so that was already a bogey fence. And then after that, I mean, there was questions everywhere, big wide oxers and big delicate verticals, and this line towards the end, the fence here, that's a classic from Valkenswaard, always jumps very tough. The line walked like a steady 4, but in the end it was actually getting a little bit flat for us, so I think there were questions everywhere.
What did you think of Eduardo's round? I'm sure you were watching closely. Your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I thought the horse was jumping beautifully. He was riding very well. I think he came in a little bit too big to the triple, which made B a little bit short, and he had that down, but yeah, at this level it's just details always.
I believe you have walked the jump-off course. I also believe that we're going to have a 3D map of it in a few moments' time. Talk to me about what's going to come up in the jump-off here. Only 2 of them, Harry Smolders, Nicola Philipparts. What are they about to go into on today's jump-off?
Yeah, it's an interesting jump-off. You start off with this line here towards this side of the ring, which was a steady 6 in the first round, a little bit outside 6. I don't think with 2 in the jump-off we'll get a 5. I think they will stay on the 6. Then you have a tight rollback to fence number 15. The GCT, and I think again there will be maybe 9 strides to B of that double, and then inside 7 to the trees. You roll back to the wall again. It's quite a bit of ways to the double here, the Longines double. I walked maybe for a big mover a 9. I think we will see 10. And then it's just a canter to the last year. They switched out the gate to just a regular vertical, so I think it'll be tactics, see how fast the first one goes and see if the second one can beat them.
Let's talk tactics, because the jump-off is always about tactics. It always becomes interesting to see how different riders approach. Normally, if you have a bigger jump-off field, maybe you play it smart, you play it conservative, you can squeeze onto a podium, or maybe you take championship points. Is this just a straight shootout when there's only 2 of you? You let the first man go, as you say, which is going to be Harry Smolders. Does Nicola Philipparts simply react to Harry, or do you think he has a game plan that he has to stick to because it's what he's decided?
Yeah, I think with 2 you go for it. Worst case, you're second place. So I think for sure Harry will go for it in the beginning, and then Nicola will try to catch him. But I think it'll be an all-out jump-off between the 2 of them.
From what you know and from what you've seen over the years, what's a Monaco versus Katanga showdown like?
It's always depending on the day. I feel like Monaco is very experienced in the jump-offs. I feel like he can go a bit quicker. Katanga has to be a bit more conservative in the straight lines, because then she gets really hot. So he has to be, I think, very smart in the rollbacks. That's where he can win a little bit more time. But Monaco is always a very big threat. So I think if he gets it, it might be his day today.
Give me your thoughts on the season of Gilles Thomas. Here he comes into the first round today, has a fence down, still, by the way, and one of his other 9-year-olds. Remarkable with what he's doing with these young horses. A single fence down today because of only the 2-rider jump-off puts him in 3rd place. Simon de Lestre does not qualify. He's in 2nd. So a 1 versus 2 with Simon falling out. Gilles basically on the podium. Are we starting to believe that this is truly a championship year for Gilles Thomas?
I mean, it looks like it. He has a fantastic string of horses. He's got the momentum. In this sport, it's often about the momentum, you know, you have to carry on. And the horses feel it as well. And I think you just grow and you feed off of it. So it looks like it's his year. Still a few shows left, but if he keeps going on this form, I don't see it going another way.
If I were to put you in Gilles' shoes, when do you feel starts to become a time that becomes a reality? I know show jumpers like to be conservative. They never feel it's in the bag. When does that possibly start becoming a reality for Gilles?
I think knowing him, he will wait until the very end. And like you said, we're trying to be a bit conservative, and you don't believe it until it happens. And I think that's the way it should be.
All right, jump off is officially about to get underway. Carlos Ancarero is joining us in the studio. He's going to give us insights and thoughts. Only 2 riders to go, so this is going to be quick. Harry Smolders and Monaco, the first rider in. He sets the pace, he sets the bar, and then Nicola Philipparts and Katanga will follow. Let's get some thoughts as this goes on.
Get the bell. This has been a fantastic Grand Prix. There's been some outstanding jumping, a couple of hard luck cases, but no real disappointments. I'm sure people, a lot of riders outside scratching their head, just going, one little mistake has kept us out of the jump off. There's a number of riders who would have taught just one little bit more, and I was there. I think we've had a couple of fences on the ground with the slightest of touches. We see Gilles walking in there. The armband on his left-hand side has to give away. He's leading the league. Oh, tips his hat. Has a good look around. Oh, he's going to start down the far end of the arena. Over the Longians Oxer. We had 6 strides up then to that vertical. I would be surprised if he drops the leave out of stride early in the track, but he can come back to the next vertical very tight. I think that's where we're going to see him take a couple of chances. Then cross the middle of the arena to that big pink Oxer that was very influential, 7B. 6 strides then down to that really big, bulky looking flower fence, big wings on the side of it. So here we go. Picks up a really good canter. Monaco knows his stuff. Now, here we go. 6 strides. They've taken off the plank. They've swapped with a pole. That's going to make it a little bit help. And really tight back here. Now, gallops across the arena. Now, just sits up. Pops that. Now, big Oxer. Immediately starts to turn. Now, this horse has lots of experience. Really brave. Comes to the wall. He'll keep coming. We've a pole on top of it now as well, and up to the last 2 parts of the combination. And whoa, sets up, beautiful. Lets him finish the jump, and now gallops across the arena. Look at this, here he comes. The last fence, pops it. Wow, look at the time, 41.05. The crowd go ballistic. Clear round.
What we wanted was for Harry Smolders to go clear, to go really quick, to put the pressure on. The Dutch crowd are letting you know how happy they are with that. That's exactly what we would have liked to have set this up. Carlos, give me your thoughts on what Harry's just done there.
Yeah, that was a masterclass of a jump off. I think he played to all his strengths. The turn he did from 2 to 3, I think, will be impossible to beat. He was smooth, he was fast. That's going to take some riding from Nicola, and yeah, let's see what happens.
And what this does is it takes away the option to be conservative from Nicola. This is what becomes interesting. Nicola Philipparts and Katanga, the next pair in. Only 2 of them, which means the jump-off essentially ends here after this. The time to beat, it's clear at 41.05. Katanga, Monaco, Harry Smolders, Nicola Philipparts will know the winner of Valkenswaard 2025 in the next 45 seconds.
Of the season. Nicola Philipparts, he's intending to ruin the party. Let's see what himself and Katanga can do. They've seen it. They were standing at the top of the arena. They know exactly what the challenge is. So what's he going to do? Is he just going to try and do the same numbers, or are he going to try and leave out a stride someplace? We're going to have to see what the tactics are. He'll have a big support team with him. He knows this horse. He's a 15-year-old. They've been together for a long time. He's done very well in the finals. And in the playoffs on this horse, he's been successful over the years with him. So let's see what he wants to do here. Does the 6 here again. Now he's going to have to be very brave here. This is good. Keep coming. Good lad. Now drops the shoulder. He's very quick across the middle. Cuts the corner. Now big Oxer here. This is a new fence on the track. You can see they're just making sure the horse has finished the jump. Pushes all the way through. Now he's going to gallop up here. He has to keep coming. Now slow up. Now power out. And he's had the rail down. We have a winner. Comes to the last. Has that as well. He's finished his second. He's going to get a ticket, the golden ticket to the playoffs. There's our winner. He's out on the wall.
Wow, wow, wow. We're busy writing down the time here. Do you want to tell everyone what the two times were of the two riders?
Hundredth of a second difference there.
1/100th of a second difference. Harry Smulders stopped the clock at 41.05. Nicola Philippot stopped the clock at 41.04. The fences go down. Harry Smulders is the champion of Valkenswaard, but is this exactly what we spoke about? It was the performance of Harry that makes Nicola be over-aggressive. The timing was spot on, but he was so aggressive to fight the clock that naturally things are going to get a little bit rough in there.
Yeah, exactly. I think Nicola did his job. He had to go for it, and Harry put the pressure on him. He had to do something really special. I think he took one out to the double, and it was a little bit rough, and Katanga just slightly rubbed it coming out, but I think they both had a fantastic jump-off rounds, and that's what the sport is.
Talk to someone who wants to learn how and why this jump-off is so tricky, because the irony is that it needs to be that perfect blend of aggression and precision as well. If you tilt one way or the other, things don't go your way. Trying to find that balance as a rider, how on earth are you going as quickly as you can, but still trying to be really conservative around the fences?
I mean, I think Nicola had it a bit more clear. He was just all out, nothing to lose. Like he had two fences down, and it was second place, worst case scenario. I think Harry had it a little bit tougher because he had to balance that smoothness, like you say, really trying to get that clear round, but being as fast as he could to put the pressure on Nicola. I think it was pretty much impossible to do a better job. That was a proper masterclass. So for anyone watching, I think that's a bit what you have to balance. Harry did a fantastic jump off, but he never looked like he was out of sorts or getting the horse in an uncomfortable rhythm. I think he really played to all his strengths, and yeah, he did a really, really good job.
When we talk to you about jumping in Mexico, it's always very special for you to be in front of a home crowd. It's always fantastic when a home crowd has a home winner. How much value do you get out of that when you're on the horse? Is it kind of that you go into a bit of a tunnel vision and don't hear it and feel it? Or is there energy to take off of a home crowd like this?
I feel like you try to make it a tunnel vision, but somehow it does get to you. It's really hard to ignore. For me in Mexico, I know us Mexicans are very loud. So you go in that ring and you do hear everything. You try to focus, of course, but I feel like it does give you that extra boost to try and do your best.
I know, the Dutch are equally loud here, and they will continue to be so when Harry Smulders goes up to the top of the podium. We take a break for now. Thank you very much to Carlos Sancarero giving us some wonderful thoughts and insight into the jump-off. The winner will be in the studio in a few moments' time. As it stands, it's Harry Smulders, an LGCT champion of Valkenswaard 2025. We'll hear from him soon. Welcome back to Valkenswaard. Welcome back to a very, very dramatic afternoon. The sun has burst out over the southern parts of the Netherlands, and it certainly is shining on Harry Smolders. It's also shining on the very, very large audience that's here on the grandstand that's just out of sight, by the way. You can even see over my shoulder there by the giant screen. People, in fact, the crowd has gotten so big that they're starting to surround the arena. That's how popular today's show has been. And to have then a local Dutchman win here today, like Michael van der Vleuten did back in 2019, like Sanatosa did back, I think, in 2023. This is a wonderful home story for the Netherlands, for Harry Smolders and for Monaco, who now, like they did earlier on this year, already wins yet another LGCT Grand Prix. Harry Smolders already had a golden ticket in the bag, was already going to Prague to compete in the LGCT Super Grand Prix. Now it's 2 victories in the season. Harry Smolders and Monaco starting to impress more and more. This is the result, the final results from Valkenswaard 2025. Harry Smolders in first. Heartbreak for Nicola Philippaerts and Katanga in second. But let's take a moment to reflect on what that third place victory for Gilles Thomas means for the championship. Not only does Gilles Thomas finish in third, not only does he take home a huge amount of points, but his closest rival on the championship table in Simon de Lestre did not qualify, which means he took 0 points out of Valkenswaard. It's much the same that we saw out of London. Simon de Lestre did not qualify in London. Gilles will look very, very good in the overall rankings that get updated by the end of the afternoon. We'll show you that a little bit later on as well. But I believe it was close to 40-odd points that Gilles was clear. Now it's going to extend even further. Harry Smolders, Nicola Philippaerts and Gilles Thomas on the podium in a 1, 2, 3. Andreas Schouw and Christian Koekkoek, by the way, take nothing away from him. If you recall, in London, we spoke to Christian Koekkoek. He said that he wants to try and target the second half of the season to get some real championship momentum. We know that we're heading to Riesenbeck in a couple of weeks' time. He will target that show as well for major points. So Christian Koekkoek continues to impress and continues to get some championship points. Let's show you then the round of Nicola Philippaerts under pressure to try and beat the time set by Harry Smolders. This is what the Belgian rider and Katanga did. Because Harry was so quick at 41.05, there was no opportunity for Nicola Philippaerts to be conservative in any space. In that first sector, he was ahead. Second split timing coming in and around 23 odd seconds. That's about to come there. He falls slightly behind the pace, although he did look and feel as if he was quicker on the ground. Here he tries to take a stride out, gets too forward, and unfortunately that fence in the combination goes down. Then, knowing that unfortunately the title had been lost, putting a little more aggression into it and having a second fence down, Nicola Philippaerts and Katanga finish on 8. And it means that he then is unable to beat Harry Smolders. There again, we see it after trying to be ultra aggressive, removing a stride. And sadly for Katanga, that fence, that rail going down, that sees him finish in second place. I'm looking forward to hearing from Gilles Thomas in a few moments' time, the man who finishes third on the podium, and I wonder how much he would have felt that that was a surprise. So often we see with these jump-offs, if there's 5, 6, 7 riders in a jump-off, you can jump a double clear in an LGCT Grand Prix and not even get onto the podium. Here, Gilles Thomas knocks the fence down and somehow still makes it onto the podium, still gets major championship points, and continues to be the favourites for the overall title, the overall championship win come the end of the season. Let's hear from Gilles Thomas. Rosie Turner is standing by with your championship leader.
Well, Gilles, it was an incredibly tough competition today. You came out in third spot again, another podium. How pleased are you?
Yeah, I'm very pleased, especially that I did it with Calista. She's only 9. Okay, I was already second in the qualifiers, so I could go as at the end of the class in the Grand Prix. And I knew there were only 2 clears, so I had already a plan to ride a smooth round. Because if I would have one down, then I would go a bit faster for my time, because yeah, there were only 2 clears and then was only one after me, so maybe with one down you can be on the podium. And at the end, I was unfortunately one down, but at the end, I'm also happy that I'm still on the podium with that.
Not only are you still on the podium, but you're still top of the championship as well. It's podium after podium for you. Is this your main focus now? This is your goal?
Yes, a little bit. That was also why I was thinking already to ride a smooth round this round, because if I would have one down, then I would still score a lot of points for the overall championship. And then, unfortunately I had one down on fence number 10, but then the last few lines I tried to do it very quick. And my was also natural, very quick, so that helped today.
Well, Gilles, we'll let you go because I know the presentation's about to start. Huge congratulations, another podium, well done.
Thank you.
Quite remarkable for Gilles Thomas. He now is starting to admit openly that this is the main priority, that an LGCT championship win is his main priority. And he is very close, by the way. If it were to work out, we would have to really start counting down the months to see whether or not Gilles Thomas is the youngest ever LGCT season champion. Because if I think back to the mid-2000s with Scott Brash, I beg your pardon. Scott Brash, around about 2016, 2017, when he won his LGCT title, he was also around 26, 27, 28 years of age, kind of where Gilles Thomas finds himself now. So are we on the verge of potentially the youngest ever, or at least somewhat of a record equaling youngest ever LGCT champion in Gilles Thomas? We would have to do the maths on that. I know Scott Brash was young back in those 2016, 17 times, but this has seemingly become a generational run for Gilles Thomas, who, as we pointed out, continues to lead. We'll give you the exact numbers by the end of the afternoon, but he will be increasing and increasing and increasing that lead as we head into Riesenbach and the shows that follow in September and October. We are standing by waiting for the podium to be completed, by the way. I see it is up and running. The photographers are getting into position. That means that the top three riders in Gilles Thomas, Nicola Philipparts and Harry Smulders, will be coming out in a few moments' time. Let's get some thoughts and some reaction, by the way, from Rosie Turner and see if she can wrap it up for us before we get to the podium. Rosie, a truly remarkable day. We've seen some LGCT Grand Prix with no jump-offs like we saw back with Edwina Tops-Alexander in Madrid. We've seen perhaps one or two. Monaco comes to mind with Ines Jolie and with Max Kuna, but this becomes such a rarity nowadays that it really, really stands out. What an outstanding, strange, weird, beautiful Grand Prix we watched here today.
Yeah, I think all of those words definitely apply to today. And also, I think a lot of people would think that when you've only got two in the jump-off, that they might take it easy and just try and go clear. But actually, when there are only two in the jump-off, you have to put pressure on the person coming in after you. And that's exactly what Harry Smulders did with Monaco today. We know Monaco can be quick, but Nicola's horse can equally be quick. So almost Harry had a lot of pressure on him to make sure that he made some pressure as well for Nicola. But I think also for the crowd here, it's been wonderful to see so many people here today, and all the local riders are on the podium, and it's lovely to see so many people sticking around to make sure that they can watch their home favourites here in Valkenswaard do the lap of honour as well. But it's been an extraordinary day, Mark. As we were going through the list, I was going, surely we're going to have a few more clears, and it was just those occasional mistakes that we saw. Quite dramatic as well as a Grand Prix, but we wouldn't expect anything less from an LGCT Grand Prix as well. But I believe the presentation is about to begin, Mark, so I will hand it straight back to you.
He'd like to be back there again.
Yes, thank you very much, Rosie. We appreciate the insight. More from you to come as well. As you can see, that celebration about to get underway. The top three riders are in the ring. Let's head back inside for the official prize-giving ceremony.
Competition. And Harry's going to take home a sizable chunk of that. Monaco takes up his position between the two wings.
Representing Longines, Judith Venin, brand manager. Mr. Jan Tops, founder and president of the Longines Global Champions Tour. Hennis van Himbergen on behalf of
Everybody just taking position now.
Here in Valkenswaard, and Dennis Monticulo on behalf of Global Champions. Our riders able to dismount, of course, because they're all accompanied by the wonderful grooms of our sport. And this is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to make a huge amount of noise to represent and recognise the huge work behind the scenes.
This new initiative whereby the riders use the podium. It's great for the grooms as well. We're just mentioning there, John's out in the main arena and everybody giving the grooms a nice round of applause. They work so hard there in the background, the caretakers of these extraordinary equine athletes. They look after them so well, and normally will come with a number of horses. Here's a young man who's just flying in our sport. He's a superstar. We've seen him competing at the highest level across the world, and now he steps up on the podium and takes that third place. Nicola Philipparts, he's on the second step. Shields must be really delighted with Callista DN. It's only a 9-year-old by Emmer van Hutchetoff. So the 9-year-old up against the 2 older horses. But here's our winner. Harry Smoller steps up onto the podium to the applause of the crowd. What a well-deserved. First man in, he cracked the code, and then he was foot perfect in the jump off. Everybo's staying in position here now. So we'll take a moment now. The first formality will be the national anthem. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody stands.
Congratulations, Harry. We'll start our presentation with our third place trophy. Dennis Monticulo on behalf of Global Champions will present our third place finisher and congratulate our podium finishing riders.
On behalf of Global Champions Tour, presenting the third place prize. So Giles Thomas in receipt of a little trophy. He's still going to wear that armband. He gets to bring that home this weekend. He's well out in front on that 35 points ahead of everybody else.
Second place to be presented by Ellis van Himbergen on behalf of Longines Tops International Arena with his golden ticket in hand.
She's going to present to Nicola Philipparts along with his golden ticket for the playoffs and finals. He's going to be delighted with that. Disappointed he's not on the top step, but it's a proper, really good day's work.
The winner's watch on behalf of title sponsor and official timekeeper Longines will be presented by Judith Menon, and of course this goes for the second time
Judith
this
Menon
season
comes up
to
with the
Longines
watch on behalf of the Longines sponsors. Such a huge part of the LGCT. Beautiful timepiece. Add to his collection.
Founder and president of the Longines Global Champions Tour, master of Valkenswaard, Olympic gold medalist.
Now the final man to present the trophy. Our founder, our show president, and the master of Valkenswaard, delighted to hand it over to his countryman.
Days like this will always make Harry think that he was right not to take
a day to be remembered. Harry's first win here in Valkenswaard. He's won a number of these LGCT competitions in the past, but now he'll savour this one, definitely. Now, photographs taken. Everybody needs to abandon ship fairly quickly. This is when the fun starts. Let's see who's the quickest to pop the champagne. Nicola's on the move. He's got it first. Harry's just a little bit stuck. Nicola was the quickest with the champagne. The lads know what to do. They're enjoying themselves. Yeah. And look, they're proper sportsmen. They appreciate the competition, they appreciate each other, and they respect each other for what they've achieved today. 3 outstanding performances, actually a lot of outstanding. We've seen some fantastic horses on display today. 2 older horses, a 16-year-old, a 15-year-old, and then Shields with a 9-year-old. We saw a few 9-year-olds put on some foot-perfect performances here. A couple of the older guys came in then as well and showed their experience, but it's been
of his career, and with it his
fantastic
first time
afternoon.
being victorious here in
Yeah, there's a
Valkenswaard.
smile. That says it all. Thumbs up. Now back on your horse. We're going to have a lap of honour. Ground jury will be out there. The cameramen are out there. So pop back up on Monaco and just give him,
lots more sporting action
let him enjoy the experience.
Major competition arenas here at Longines Tops International Arena.
Yeah, big smiles. A lot of fun.
The two-star Grand Prix coming up next. Another jump ball format class.
And it's going to smell a little bit different tomorrow with all the champagne.
The 10th stage.
Yeah, give that horse a pat. Well deserved. What a great partnership.
With
You can see the connection between horse and rider.
We'll know our series champion when we touch down in Riyadh as our 15th and final stage in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, we just need to get everybody legged up now and we'll get the lap of honour.
Champions League Super Cup final and the Longines Global Champions Super Grand Prix.
There's our second place. Katanga, a 15-year-old mare by Carlento. Foot perfect in the first round.
They have all won legs of this series. They've all won.
Harry's going to lead them off.
They all know the way, but they're all aboard, and it's time for Harry Smulders to take them around.
Wiping the champagne off his face.
It is lap of honour time.
Now here we go. Everybody's going to enjoy this. Nobody more than Harry. It's been an absolutely fantastic afternoon. Sport has lived up to all the expectations and all the hype. We've had some brilliant sport here for the day. I hope you've enjoyed it. From me, Tom Frayne, and all the team, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Harry Smulders, Nicola Philippard, Gilles Delas, your top three here today in Valkenswaard. More yet down here. David and Aaron. More. One more time. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Harry Smulders.
What an afternoon for Harry Smulders. What an afternoon for the Netherlands here in Valkenswaard. The fans still cheering as the lap of honour continues. Harry Smulders will come up in a few moments' time and have a chat to us. I will tell you as well, by the way, I've just seen the new updated overall rankings. We'll give that to you a little bit later. I'm going to keep you in suspense for now. I have just seen the new overall rankings. And Gilles Thomas is looking like a very, very good bet for an LGCT champion in 2025. Shall we show it to you now? Shall we take you out of your misery and show you where Gilles Thomas is? Let's do that. If you recall, it was Gilles Thomas and Simon Delestre 1 and 2. Because of Simon's failure to qualify here today, Andreas Schouw and Christian Kukuk have now made up ground. But let me do the maths for you. The difference between 173 in Andreas Schouw and 241 in Gilles Thomas, the calculator on my iPhone tells me, I certainly wouldn't be able to work it out. My phone tells me that that is a 68-point difference. Gilles Thomas has a 68-point lead at the top of the LGCT overall rankings. However, Christian Kukuk, look at him creeping up. I remind you that he said to us that he is dedicating the back half of the season for a championship run. Other than Gilles Thomas, he is the highest averaging points per stage rider on tour. That means the more that Christian Kukuk rides, the closer and closer he is going to get to those around him. But Gilles Thomas, despite having a fence down today, scores a podium finish, finishes in third, and with that now opens up a 68-point lead over Andreas Skau in second place. Michael van der Vleuten now in fifth. Scott Brash, already a two-time LGCT winner here this season, now in sixth. Peter de Vos, Natalie Dean, Sophie Hinners, and look at that, lo and behold, our 2024 defending LGCT champion and Max Kuna now makes an appearance inside the top 10. That is how the table is starting to shape up ahead of Riesenbach in 2 weeks' time. You love the dynamics of the returning champion coming into the top 10. You love the dynamic of Christian Kuckuck, who lost the title to Max Kuna, now knocking on the door. That dynamic of Simon de Lestre losing ground. The dynamic of Simon de Lestre now moving further up, while Gilles Thomas opens up a huge gap. All of these storylines will be discussed and further analyzed the deeper and deeper we go into the rest of the season. The good news for Nicola Philipparts, he may not win here today, but with Harry Smolders already having secured a golden ticket to the LGCT Super Grand Prix, it means that the golden ticket to Prague goes to Nicola Philipparts. He now will be one of the new riders to compete at the LGC Super Grand Prix. What does that mean then for the rest? Let's remind you from Doha. If you recall, Boni Ami and Abdel Said at the start of the season going on to win and book the first spot in that LGCT Super Grand Prix. Emanuele Camele in Mexico City was the second rider to do so. Then there were two. Quickly, that became three. Scott Brash, I've told you about the season that he is having. There he was going on to win in Shanghai early on in the season. Yoli Mitleneo. What a surprise result that was for her and for the world in Madrid, winning and picking up her golden ticket in Spain. We move on to Harry Smolders. Well, that was it in Cannes. In the French Riviera, Harry Smolders and Cannes going on to get that golden ticket in the bag. Ken Farrington doing very well in Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez, the American, securing his golden ticket there. Gilles Thomas in Paris, the current LGCT leader, getting his ticket under the Eiffel Tower on the Champ de Mars in Paris. Simon de Lestre, who has now fallen away ever so slightly, will still be competing at the Super Grand Prix with his golden ticket being secured in Monaco. That leads us to Christian Kuckuck in the previous stage in London. Christian Kuckuck and Checker in that once-in-a-lifetime jump-off, defeating Ben Mayer. And that brings us to the point now of Nicola Philipparts going on to get his golden ticket here in Valkenswaard, thanks only to the fact that Harry Smolders has already secured his. So because of that, it gets passed down. Floss Bish-Jones from Global Champions now escorting Harry Smolders and his trophy up to the studio. We will have the Dutchman here for the second time this season, by the way, after having won in Cannes. We will have Harry Smolders make his way into the studio. That is, in fact, just underneath us. There is the warm-up arena, just over the shoulder of Harry Smolders, walking through the crowd. Everyone now starting to enjoy the hospitality suites. They're going to come up a flight of stairs, do a hard turn back to the right. It's very good work from the cameraman, by the way. That is agile up those stairs. There's Harry Smolders taking that hard right. He will now walk through the main entrance here in the Spider. He's going to walk up another 2 flights of stairs as well, by the way. So high is our advantage here, so high is our position. There's the Spider, the famous Spider at the Longines Tops International Arena. We are right at the top of that. That's where we're going. That's it. So that is just below us down there. That's where Harry Smolders is coming from now. He's going to go 2 more flights of stairs. He's going to come up just over my right shoulder, and then he's going to make his way here into the studio, put that trophy down on this table and talk to us about a remarkable season that him and Monaco are starting to have. And one of the points that I want to ask him, after talking to him, after that Cannes victory, Harry Smolders, who is now here, let me get a microphone for Harry Smolders. Thank you, Floss Bish-Jones. Excellent delivery. Jonge. Harry Smolders, thank you very much for joining us. This is for you, my friend. Did you enjoy it so much after Cannes you thought you'd try it again and come visit me?
Yeah, of course, no. Can't get enough of that feeling.
Harry Smolders, what I remember most is I spoke to you after that victory, and you said to me that from here on in, I will let Monaco decide everything. I asked you, what does the season look like? What does the planning look like? What does the LGCT Super Grand Prix? You said to me, whoa, Monaco will decide.
Yeah.
What did Monaco say to you building up to this week that made you think now's the time to come back and shoot for this again?
He said to me, I'm ready.
Yeah?
No,
How was the build up to this week?
yeah, like I left the European Championships also to peak here. Not so very often anymore in his career. I can peak here for a home crowd, for this area I'm born. I wanted to plan a little bit in the direction of this Grand Prix of the GCT. Like 3 weeks ago, I was here for the 4-star, just a little bit to get routine in the ring again, to show him the fences again. He ended also up second. I played around 2 days. In the Grand Prix, he was a second, so feeling was good. Strength was there, rhythm was good. So 2 weeks quiet, and this week already from the beginning of the week I felt him sharp on it, physically totally ready, mindset was good, focus was super. And then on Friday we had a fault, but I also didn't really try, you know. I went just smooth, not super casual, because you still need to qualify. You couldn't there left a lot of gap, because with 2 down you were out, or 1 down too slow you were out for the Grand Prix. But then, yeah, the setup was super, and then today everything came together again.
Let's talk about today, because that looked tough. I mean, the 2 out of 40 will tell us that this was really tough. What was it about that first round that became so tricky?
Yeah, like with the course walk, I told him already, like it's in the beginning of the course it's very delicate with the bike and the plank. Then in the middle of the course, I think started from the black oxer, a big scope test, the double, the triple combination. And then at the end, the last 2 fences, very technical, you know, half distance towards the end, really on an angle. So there was no time pressure, so it must say something about the toughness of the course.
That brings us into that second round, the jump-off now, only you and Nicola. Everyone talks about going later in the jump-off is always an advantage, we know this. People were saying to me what Harry needs to do here is really put the pressure on, because if there was a fence or 2 down, Nicola could canter his way around. How aggressive did you feel you had to be? Because you couldn't hand it to him. So did you and Monaco say, I would rather lose it in pushing than go slow here, because you had to put him on his toes?
Yeah, but it's not that he is like, he's 16 years old, he knows how the game works. He is super slick, you know, he doesn't mess around in any turn. If I have a few turns, I can stay so tight, he knows exactly what is coming. But it's not that I can leave a lot of leave-outs, you know, anymore. So I have to plan it, I have to be myself, really on top of it. But then, you know, when you already look to the right, he turns already. Yeah. And that is, I think, I also had a very smooth jump off. Like every distance showed up very, very easily for me.
And there was a beautiful balance of patience and aggression. It looked as if you were never overcommitting, but it looked very smooth.
Exactly. That's my job to do, you know, to put him in easy positions as possible, without too many leave outs, but also without any extra in the turn. There is where I put the pressure on Nicola.
You talk about coming to Valkenswaard, jumping in front of the home crowd on purpose. The final fence in round 1 is here next to the grandstand. The final fence of the jump-off here by the grandstand. It's a wonderful story when it works, because everyone here is cheering for the local boy and Harry Smolders. It's got to be pressure when you're jumping in front of fans like this, because you don't want to disappoint. Everyone wants to see the local Dutchman win.
Of course, but it also, like, I have a super experienced horse, the best horse of my career.
Is he the horse of your lifetime?
I have also several really outstanding horses, so, but he is probably the smartest and, you know, the most intelligent, and at the end he had a beautiful career, I must say, with his clear round percentage and the consistency that he put already for years. That is, I think, what makes him so special.
So talk to us about the upcoming couple of stages now. We're enjoying having you here. We're loving seeing you come around. You told me again, I will listen to Monaco. Yeah. What does the next few weeks look like? There are a couple shows still left in the season before the LGCT Super Grand Prix. Do we see you again?
Yeah, probably you'll see me again. Maybe I take it a few weeks quiet, then see how he recovers, how I still need to rebuild again. Maybe Vienna, maybe Rome. But he will tell me. I'm not You know, I don't push myself. I want to be there. I want to go there. He will tell me, okay, let's go. I'm feeling good. Let's go to another show, or stay patient and wait till he tells me again.
Okay.
I would like to go to Super Grand Prix with him.
You are going to, I have no doubt. Is he going to be the one that you decide?
Yeah,
It must be an obvious choice, no?
He is my best horse, so when he tells me he's ready for it, he will go.
I believe there is a social media question that I now need to find for you. Social media question that we will try and see. I don't see there we are. What is the best memory with this horse? Oh, that's tough.
Too many.
That's tough.
So many good memories. I mean, how many times he has been second in his whole career, and then since last year he won his first five-star Grand Prix.
And now they've just started to
now
follow
he won Cannes, and now he win Valkenswaard on a 16-year-old age. It's like wine that's, you know, only getting better with aging. And I hope that this lasts forever. I know it doesn't, but you want to keep this feeling forever.
Yeah. Who is the first person that you call when you win the LGCT Grand Prix?
I didn't call anybody.
No? I'm sure the phone has 100 messages waiting for you.
My whole family, my friends, family is here. My whole team is here.
Yeah.
So they are very supportive, and without a super team and family, it's impossible anyway.
Hey, it's tijd voor de biertje. Well done, Harry Smolders. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. The LGCT Grand Prix champion of Valkenswaard 2025. What a season this is turning out to be for Harry Smolders, who will now, of course, return in particular for the LGCT Super Grand Prix. What a season this has been. And we head off to Riesenbach in a few moments' time. I believe there's some thoughts as well from Nicolas Philippaerts, the man who finishes on the podium in second place. We heard from Gilles Thomas. Let's hear from Nicolas Philippaerts.
Nicola, what an incredible LGCT Grand Prix that was. Just two of you in the jump-off. Harry really put some pressure on you there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think for sure Harry in Monaco is one of the best combinations in the world, and we tried to give it a go. We got a fall in a double in the last one, but I'm very happy. I'm very delighted how she jumped. She jumped great, and I'm still happy with the second place.
It's a fantastic thing to be back on the podium again, and of course you've now got your golden ticket to the LGCT Super Grand Prix.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very happy we can go to Prague. It's a fantastic event, but I'm very happy that Katanga jumped great. Okay, we didn't win. We always like to win, but she jumped great, and she feels very good. So
I've had to pull you away from everyone wanting to take pictures from you. To be a local rider here, does it make it extra special?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm only living 30 minutes away. We have a lot of people coming and watch here, and it's like a home show for us. You know, I'm very happy, and she jumped great. I came here with my best horse. She jumped great, and it's a fantastic atmosphere here in Valkenswaard, and I love competing here.
We can feel it as a crowd with the atmosphere. What is it like going in for you? It's silent when you start going, and the cheers that go up at the end.
I mean, as a rider, it gives something extra, you know. If you can go in the ring like that for a jump off with that much atmosphere, you try to do something extra. I think it's a fantastic event, and I cannot be more delighted how it went today.
Huge congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
On the face of Nicolas Philippaerts tells you two things. One, he is delighted with an LGCT Grand Prix podium. And two, he knows now that golden ticket is his, and he will be at the LGCT Super Grand Prix in Prague later on this year at the GC playoffs. The biggest ticket on the Longines Global Champions Tour stage. Only the best of the best. The champions of the season come together to compete in what we call the LGCT Super Grand Prix. And Nicolas Philippaerts has now stamped his passport off to Prague later on this year. What a stunning week this has been in Valkenswaard in the south of the Netherlands. The weather has played ball. The show jumping has been world class, and we hope that you stay with us for the next stage as we head just over the border to Germany. We head off to Riesenbach for stage 11, and we hope to see you there. From the south of the Netherlands, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in Germany soon. Bye-bye.
Global champions head to Riesenbach, where the heart of German show jumping beats strong. As the tour progresses, every jump is more crucial. With the title in sight, the pressure mounts. Who will rise above the rest? Experience the Longines Global Champions Tour of Riesenbach from September 11th to the 14th.